Good morning, welcome to Planet Mojo. Today, I got a whole bunch of blocking cut yesterday. I'm gonna have to roll the saw over here, get all of that blocking fitted, and then run the electrical wire. First thing to do is go get the saw. Looks like the coons got into this old bird seed that we had stored over here. I'm gonna have to get rid of that. Did you see them, kitty? Quick little jig for consistency. I have 18 to cut at this normal size and then a few at a smaller size. About halfway through, I adjusted the jig a little bit with 3 pieces of tape, so about half of these are a little bit smaller than the other ones. I think the first ones were just a hair too big. Really doesn't matter. I have to pocket screw all of these now, and as I'm putting them in, if any of them are just a hair too long, I'll run out and shave a little bit off. You can do that with pocket screws. So let's get these pockets screwed and start fitting them. A couple of buckets and an old piece of rim joist makes a pretty nice workbench out here. It is really beautiful out today. With all of these cut, now I got to do my layout lines. What I'm going to do is just hook my tape measure over the top plate up there and come down at 4 feet and then again at 8 feet. I'll do that on each one of the studs, and then that's the locations on this side. The paneling is only going to go up to the top of the top plate, and then there'll be molding that covers that gap at the top. At the bottom, it's going to have a gap there as well, and what I'm going to do is rip up some of this stuff as a spacer, and then we'll cover that gap with the base molding later. All right, let me lay this out really quick. Okay, I got this all laid out. Problem is, I was originally going to put drywall on this, but not do any mudding, so I could just take the screws out later, but that would have been real ugly for, you know, maybe 2 years. So we decided to put this decorative paneling on, which unfortunately it looks better if we put it going sideways. So that means we have like gaps right here. This is where the paneling is going to meet right here, and if I don't put blocking in here, that's going to sag in and it's going to look terrible. So that's the reason for all this blocking. If I was going to use drywall, it would have been just like the regular walls. I could have just put it on and been done with it. On this side, the paneling is going to be vertical, and I found that 8 feet comes to right about here. So on this side, well, actually on both sides, the bottom one is just going to go flush with the bottom plate. So I didn't have to lay out anything on that. So I'm gonna start getting these in, and then Once I get all of these in, then I can put the ones here, 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 and here. Put all of those in afterwards. These are all 14.5, so that should be pretty easy. I'm going to run across the street and grab a clamp. Some of these might be a little loose, and I'll clamp them nice and tight before I screw them. So I'm going to get that, and then we'll get going on this. I put one set in to see how it's going to go, and now I'm on the second bay. I think I'm going to go all the way across the top and then pull my rolling chair in and go across the bottom. But this is what you're going to run into. Big gap, and it's going to fit quite nicely at the top and the bottom because the top and the bottom were measured out and screwed in place. This is just a bow in the board. So what I got to do is pull that 2x4 over until it hits the blocking. You don't cut your blocking to fit whatever the gap is. So now on this one, you can see that this one's way too tight. What I'll do is just put this one in first, which is going to push this one over, and you just keep adjusting. All I need to do is get 3 on this side, and we're going to run into some difficulties as well. And then 1, 2, and then we got this switch in the way. We have the switch in the way on this side as well. I'm going to have to custom cut these to get around the switch, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Okay, let's get some more in. I had to take a nearly 5-hour time out here and get this pasture sprayed. Natalie cut this yesterday, and she sprayed 3 tanks, I believe, and I sprayed 4, and there's probably, we could probably use 2 more, but it's getting kind of late. Natalie's track meet is tomorrow, and I want to get that wall done before that, so I'm going to get back on that. A bit earlier, I ran the fertilizer. Let me see if you can find one right here. That is urea, and some places there's more than others, but it's a fairly even spread. We have to let this pasture sit for about a month and recuperate. This one has had some heavy pressure on it this year, and the pasture itself is only 2 years old, so a lot of the grass is not quite mature yet. Okay, well, let's get back onto that wall. Okay, I am finally back on this. It's pushing 6 o'clock, but on the way down the road, I took a look over at the barn and remembered that I took the air conditioner out of the door there, and there was an open hole there. It's rained a couple times since I did that, and I was going to get that patched up today. So I did that, and that took probably an hour. So it's getting very late, but I really got to get this done. So I'm going to jump on this. And there you have it. The wiring and the blocking are done. Yeah, today was just a very, very long day with that spraying and fertilizing in between. I really needed to get this done, so I didn't film any of the wiring, but it's pretty simple. The wiring starts here. This is going to jump her over, and then it goes to that outlet, up over the door to that outlet, and then terminates right there at that outlet. Oh, and it goes to that outlet and that outlet as well. Yeah, looking good. So the next thing on this wall is to get the panels on. And like I said, the wood grain ones, the ones back here, let me see if I can show you that. Those wood grain ones are going to go sideways, and then the kind of beadboard looking stuff is going to go vertical on this side. It's fairly cheap material, but it's quite a bit more expensive than drywall. Should be a lot easier to remove, and that's what's important. And it'll look better right off the bat. So if you want to see the paneling going up, I think that's going to be the next project. Make sure you subscribe and click on the update icon. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you put them in the comment section below. And if you share the video and or give it a like, it helps the channel out greatly. Thanks for watching and have a great day.